Yo! So, it's Willyreads again, and today I'm going to be doing a book talk on the book Half Bad by Sally Green. Unfortunately, I don't currently have my copy of the book because I've lent it out to a friend, so great going there. But basically I'm going to be doing half of this video non-spoiler review, and the other half the spoiler review. So if you want to click off halfway through, that's completely fine. I understand. Just go and read the book before you watch that part, because otherwise you'll be spoiled for the whole book and it just won't be fun reading it if you ever get round to reading it. If you don't mind being spoiled, however, go ahead. But yeah, that's enough sidetracking. Let's get on with the actual book review. So, this book is about the concept that witches exist in our society, our current society. I think it's set in when it was actually written, so 2014. The second book is already... The second book is actually already out. It's called Half Wild. I have it back here somewhere. My bookshelf is in a little bit of chaos at the moment because I've had to move things about to get all my shit for school. But, yeah, I currently have the sequel, and I'm going to be reading that pretty soon. So, witches exist in this society. There are white witches, there are black witches. Now, I don't know if the author wanted this to reflect as a racial issue, or she just wanted to talk about segregation in general, but the way she worded it was a bit like, whew, 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 there are some dark themes in here. So the story revolves around a boy called Nathan, and his mother was a white witch. She is dead, for reasons unknown at the beginning. But she used to be, like, one of the best healers in the White Witch Society, and his father was a black witch by the name of Marcus. He is a very, very famous black witch because he's known for killing a lot of white witch families, and the way that the society works is that white witches are good, black witches are bad, and Nathan is half and half, and as far as he knows, he's the only one. And so he's a little bit, like, alone in this world, and he's been raised by the rest of his family, which is complete white witches. He has been discriminated against by his sister Jessica. His other siblings, though, have been very nice to him. His gran has raised him, because he currently doesn't have any parents. And it's basically about his journey into actually finding out who he is and how he can survive in such a society. The further along the story gets, and the older Nathan gets, because it actually follows his life in the first book up to when he's 17. It's just showing how he gets up to his 17th birthday, and witches, when they're 17, they have to be given 3 gifts, otherwise, A, for white witches, they won't become witches and they'll just have to lead normal human lives, or B, black witches are known to die after they don't get 3 gifts on their birthday. So Nathan doesn't really know what will happen, and so as we progress through the story we see how he is growing up, how he is inside and out, and how they reflect one another, and how they also reflect his mum and dad as opposing kind of types of witches. You also learn a lot about his mum and dad's relationship. It's a bit ambiguous what went on there, but you learn what happened there, but not in too much detail. The book is really fast-paced. Like, it's a very short book, it's only about this big, but overall it's very fast-paced. However, despite it being fast-paced and having so much content in it, it isn't completely, like, rushed. It doesn't feel like, oh, you just pass characters and then you're done, you never learn anything about them. It seems that the characters you see in passing, like, at the very least, are completely 3D, they have their own backstories, their own lives, and then, like, you're on to the next bit. It's just, like, it seems like, oh, I want to see more, but at the same time, I want Nathan to get on with his journey. So, that's my non-spoiler review. So go pick up the book if you're interested by the concept. Click off now if you don't want to have any spoilers. Woo! Okay, so, spoiler review. This book, like, damn. The way that it's written, especially when I first read, like, the first part, because it's in second person, it kind of really threw me off. I was like, whoa, whoa, well, I'm not Nathan, but you're making me feel as if I am. What is this? When I first read that part, I was like, whoa, this book is interesting. And then it got to the second part, and it was kind of like his very, very early childhood. So it was like fragmented memories of how he was growing up, like in his very early childhood. So like 8 years old. It starts with the cage, like talks about how he got to the cage, and then he's in the cage and escapes. And so I thought that was really clever how it wasn't completely chronological. She went from third person to second person, and I thought that was really cool. So that was nice how she like switched between the two, because it felt the reader was more involved with Nathan's story. My favourite character is Gabriel. Like, that bit when Rose, like, literally flat out tells Nathan that Gabriel loves him, I was like, God damn! God damn! I was like in shock. I was like, what? I really liked how the story progressed, especially with the notifications. I really liked the romance that happened, which was surprising for me because I don't usually like reading about straight couples. However, I wasn't too sure on Nathan's character. I didn't really know how to feel about the whole situation because despite it being from his point of view, I didn't really know how to feel about his morals and how he reacted to things, and the whole thing of how he had to like steal from people. I wasn't really sure about that. And it was just difficult because I wanted to like the character, and I liked the character in the way that his personality worked and he interacted with other people. But then the whole kind of moral basis, and also it made me question whether white witches are good and whether black witches are bad, which was good because it made me kind of question my own morals and my own kind of, is this his black witch side or this is his white witch side? And the whole kind of hunter thing and how black witches are being hunted down by white witches. It made me really kind of question, like, inside what kind of segregation this is, which was really quite interesting. I also really enjoyed, like, the second to last chapter. So the bit where he meets his dad, it just, like, blew my mind how she seemed to kind of actually slow time down. Like, I know it's one of Marcus's abilities because he's eaten the heart of a witch that could do that, but the fact that it actually felt like time had slowed in the actual book was phenomenal, and kudos to you, Sally Green, because I don't know how you did that, but I am impressed. So, yeah, I really like Gabriel's character. I really enjoyed the moral kind of questions that Nathan's character brought into my mind, and it also made me question the society. And I also really liked the writing style of Sally Green. It seemed really fluid, it seemed really fast-paced, it seemed really nice how she seemed to change writing styles. It also showed the flexibility of her writing ability. I really enjoyed this book. Leave who your favourite character was down below if you've read the book, and if you haven't, whether you're going to pick it up or not. I'll see you next week, and bye! What does everyone think of my t-shirt, by the way? I really like it. I think it's really cool. Also, I'm wearing my pajamas currently because I don't give a fuck.